Woo! Ah! Woo!
What the hell are you doing,
Ninja!
Marty?
Ninja! Oh! Hello! Uh, Welcome to the first Trashfire review of 2022.
Oh
And
yeah,
boy,
it is.
have we a cracker! Have we a cracker for you this evening? Uh, I have I have decided to show Jen an absolute gem, and that gem is 1987 or 88. I think it's 87. Yeah, it was
80,
87. Uh,
87.
yeah, 87. Miami Connection. Hey DMC. Hey Toku. We are reviewing Miami Connection. And yeah, boy, it's a movie. It's directed by I think a guy called Michael Park, and co-produced by a guy called YK Kim, who was a Korean dojo instructor, Taekwondo dojo owner who wanted to break into film. And yeah, that.
He
Hey there,
did.
Mandy. Hey, popping the popcorn. Yeah, he certainly broke something, but I don't know if it was into cinema. He broke the celluloid, all right. Jen, what did you
Yes.
think of this movie?
It was an interesting picture, Marty. This is definitely one of those movies that I would have never watched had we not been doing it for Trashfire Cinema. It's interesting. It's fun. It is a bit. My negative thing is there is some padding. Like there's more. They really want to showcase the ninja parts and the fighting and stuff. They're a little short on story. Am I being too nitpicky? A little too short on
Are
story.
you kidding me? There's so much going on. There's drug deals. There's a ninja cult. There's dragon sound. There's Jim trying to reconnect with his father. Come on. Come on.
Yes, but we have these extremely long fight scenes, and maybe this is like just a thing with guys in action movies where we get boom, pow, boom. But I felt they were just a little. They ran off just a little too much.
Fine.
I'm sorry.
So, what did you think of the setup? It was kind of a cross between Smooth Criminal and the Beat It music video.
Yes,
With
it was.
a
I
gang
got
doing
more
a drug
Smooth
deal.
Criminal because, especially with the hats, I kept thinking when we were the first 5 minutes of this movie, I was thinking, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? I kept expecting him to do the leans and stuff. But again, you brought up something very interesting because with our opening shots, there's this drug deal going down with cocaine and these people, and then you have these ninjas, and like you said, stealthy, quiet, never seen, never heard, and they come busting on these fucking motorcycles, with headlights. Not the most inconspicuous way for a ninja to travel.
No, it isn't. Hey, Katie, thanks for dropping in as well. Yeah, no, the loudest like ninja vanish doesn't really fucking apply to these motherfuckers. They arrive in anyway, and somehow they manage to get the drop on these fucking drug dealers. And I love one scene. One guy, we were joking about like the fucking Smooth Criminal and Beat It kind of thing. But one guy literally does a Michael Jackson twirl. He picks up the fucking drugs, does a twirl, and jumps over like a fucking balcony, only to be cut down by a ninja. And these guys fucking kill everyone and they get the drugs, but they forget the fucking money. I mean, for an operation at this fucking level.
And their leader, their ninja leader, who's all in white, says, I had to get the money and don't ever do this again. And this is one thing, and I know I say this with a lot of our movies, but the acting tonally wise is not particularly good. I know I say this in a lot of our movies. I know I do, but I'm just thinking, oh my God, this is some bad acting. It's not the worst thing we've ever seen. We've seen far worse, like, Night Beast still takes the cake, but at least these people emoted somewhat. But there wasn't the best of acting either. I'm sorry.
So it does a kind of while it does pad in some places, it kind of goes a bit too quickly in others. For example, it goes.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What? No, after you, Jen. What?
I was just gonna say, like, I was weirdly. This is gonna sound really weird. I was interested more in the band aspect, like they're like they kind of set it up like it's gonna be this whole thing because there's another band that is mad at the one band because
Dragon Sound.
Dragon Sound because they got fired essentially. And they make it up to be like this very big, battle of the bands. And we really never get back to it. And I was strangely more invested in that story.
It is. It does jump from story to story and abandon stuff. So basically, drug deal goes bad. And next we're introduced to Dragon Sound. Now, we're introduced to Dragon Sound via Jeff, who's a partner to... I'm going to call the guy Storm Shadow because I don't think he's even fucking properly named in this. No. Storm Shadow does a drug deal with Jeff, who's operating out of Miami, and he's like, "Hey, we'll meet up in this club." They're doing a cocaine deal in a packed fucking nightclub.
It was the 80s. It was the 80s.
Okay. I'll and it was Miami. I suppose we'll let that go. But they go in anyway. And there's fucking Dragon Sound. Like fucking tearing away. And I love that track. Friends Forever. We'll be together. I actually came by that sound. By that song before I actually even heard about this movie. The video game Far Cry Blood Dragon has it on the soundtrack. And it's as the kids say, Jen, it's a banger. It's an absolute banger.
It's an earworm, I'll give you that. Like, now, it's not as good as Slumber Party Massacre 2 Rockabilly, but it's not bad. It is a banger. It is one that
Jen, yes? I need to get you a motorbike.
Ooh.
So you can rev up and fuck off.
Fuck you, Marty. Fuck you. You will never get me to not say that is not one of the best soundtracks ever.
Excuse me, Friends Forever is way better than the fucking shite in Slumber Party. I'm sorry.
No. If only Wednesday week, Tokyo Convertible. I mean, I can name these songs like Friends Forever. And the one they sing about, what the hell was the other one they sang?
Against the Ninja.
Against the Ninja.
But anyway, so they go in and Jeff's sister is up on stage with the band dancing, and Jeff's like the dude who's doing Storm Shadow's like, "Isn't that your sister?" And Jeff's like super embarrassed. He's like, I don't know what the fuck she's doing with this guy.
At this point is just dancing. She just is clapping and dancing. She sings later, but I'm like, is that all this bitch is gonna do? Is just, yay, I'm dancing with the band. I thought that when I saw it initially.
It's an interesting band. We've one guy in keyboard, one guy in drums, and 3 motherfuckers on guitar.
3. Uno, dos, tres. And I've noticed in one of them, like he doesn't even move his hands half the time.
No, that's why K Kim. That's Mark. He obviously can't play the guitar. He's just there. Like a Muppet with a guitar. But yeah, so they go in and they're doing the deal, and fucking Jeff, who is super jealous of John, who's going out with Jane. And they're also friends with Jack. Can you see a fucking pattern emerging here?
Just a bit. I wonder why the one character was named Mark, because shouldn't we just have added a James? They could have called him James or Jeffy or something. I don't know.
So Jeff's like, fuck these guys. We need to get rid of that band. No reason. Fucking Dragon Sound have not interfered
with their drug
plans whatsoever. So fucking smash cut to these guys. These guys are in college. Jen.
Bullshit. Yeah. They're not in college. They're pushing 30 at the youngest. They're pushing 30.
Maybe it's community college. Maybe that's where Mark went to learn English. And
Maybe.
It's a shit college.
Maybe there it is, and they're orphans. All these guys in the band, they're orphans, and that's where the family and unity comes from. Is that they formed their own family, and Mark says, "Oh, he's like a brother to me." We'll get there, but it's all about family in an orphan kind of way. This movie throws in everything it can at you to play at your heartstrings.
Hey,
manipulative, but it does do
that. Thanks for stopping in, Cara. What was I going to say? So anyway, right, we cut to them in college. They're fucking doing the college thing, and John is with Jane. I will give it this. It's a lot easier than most movies to remember the fucking names because all you got to do is cross-reference Jay.
The names are the story is where this is the weakest, I think. They're in college and they have a band, and again, like you said, this they are in college and they don't have anything to do with the drug dealer, nothing to do with the drug dealer, but the other drug dealers are upset about it, like and then we get the other band that's mad, like, you got us fired, and then I love this scene that's coming up.
Yeah. Like, okay, so Jeff is like pissed off with John. He's like, "Get away from my sister!" And fucking Dragon Sound come to John's aid, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go." Cut back to the nightclub. The band that got fired, right? They come in, and okay, they're obviously bad guys, but they make a fairly valid point, right? This is a hip and happening nightclub in Miami, and
they're playing
Dragon
kids'
Sound
music.
Playing. And they're like, "They play fucking kiddie music, man! They play fucking kiddie music!" And they've got a point. They've got a point.
They do, because it is a very bubblegum variety type of it is a very bubblegum kind of music. I mean, it's a good song. I'm not shitting on the soundtrack. I mean, it's no Slumber Party Massacre 2, but it's a pretty rocking soundtrack for all that it is.
It is a cool soundtrack.
The
fucking nightclub owner gets into an altercation with the lead singer of the other band. And keep in mind, this is the nightclub owner. He has no membership to Dragon Sound. He doesn't, I don't know, maybe he attends fucking taekwondo lessons. But he suddenly breaks out into, "Hey, fuck you, man." And they just start fucking,
everybody was kung fu fighting.
Pelting blows and kicks. And you're like, what the fuck? Where the fuck did this come out of?
And he keeps shouting out the line, "You play old people's music. You play old people's music." And I was like, somebody got paid to write that, huh?
I don't think so. I think fucking Kim wrote it. Oh, Cara left you a comment, Jed.
Oh, let me see what it is. Do. Oh, thank you very much. It's my cheap jewelry, believe it or not. I got this on Wish.
On you, it looks fucking $1 million. That's all I'll fucking say. That's all you need to say. So anyway, right? The dudes go off, and there's like big fucking altercation that John doesn't like Dragon Sound. This other band doesn't like Dragon Sound. Go on. What are you gonna say, Jen?
I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like, and I have to dwell on this nightclub owner thing, because he seems so invested in this one band, and like, he's just a nightclub owner. Whoever's gonna make him money, But I mean, just getting into a fight, it's ridiculous, but it's fun ridiculous. But it does make me question, why the hell does he? I mean, why is he so invested in these guys? And then the line of him shouting, "You play old people's music." Just very impassioned, and I'm like, dude, what's your story?
He likes Dragon Sound. They're hip. They're up and coming. He doesn't want low lives in his club, although it's filled with low lives. So yeah, the thing is, fucking, they go off. They're bombing around. They're doing stuff, and they get into an altercation with his band that stops them up out of nowhere. How does the rival band know their location?
I wondered I didn't wonder that until you brought that up, and then I had that question. I didn't. It was one
No,
of
it
those things
happens. It
until you
happens
pointed it
with
out.
like the rival band, and then it happens with our heroes later on when fucking Mullet Man is caught.
And see, this was before the internet, so I could say like they had maybe they advertise on Facebook or Twitter or something, but this was long before any of those. So I don't exactly know how they know, but maybe the other band has ninja senses, even though the other band isn't ninjas, but
they're not.
Ninjas.
They're not. They end up joining with Jeff, aka Kenny Loggins, to fucking take out Dragon Sound. So the first altercation, Dragon Sound are like driving home from a gig, and the rival band turns up, and then a whole host of other kind of rejects, fucking Mad Max rejects, turn up, or Beat It gang members turn up, and they block the road, and they're like, yeah, and I was like, dude, it's just a band. What the fuck, like?
Well, I guess people take their music seriously. And see, what I heard, I didn't hear Beat It or any of that. What I heard is, when you're a jet, you're a jet.
Yeah. Very West Side Story.
Yes.
Like, West Side Story fucked Warriors multiplied by inbreeding with fucking Beat It.
You're right. Like, I never thought of the Warriors connection, but that is a very apt connection. Yes, it's musical, it's Warriors, and of course, West Side Story is a thing of Romeo and Juliet, because you've got the sister who's with her brother, nightclub owner, and she's with the one dude. She's with the one dude's in the band, which he doesn't like. Oh, also, I got to talk about this because I had a thought, and I'll lose it if I don't. I already lost it once. That sister cannot act. Like, when she's giving her big exposition of, oh, like, I had a hard life. Like, our dad left us when we were very young. My mother worked and then she died. And then my brother, but I don't like my brother. Why don't you like your brother? I just don't. Only she doesn't have that much emotion when she's telling the story. And I'm like, oh my God, girl, please go into acting lessons. It was bad, Marty.
I wouldn't say that's all her fault, because she's given like an exposition dump in that scene. It's like, but fucking past, present, and future.
Like, her voice could have trembled when she thought about how hard her mother's life was, and and she just it's like you're asking a little kid, well, how come you don't like your brother? I just don't. You'd think she'd throw in a little exposition, like, he bad touched me, or he killed my puppy, or something, or he does cocaine. But no, I just don't. It bothered me, Marty. It really bothered me.
Or he hands out with a cult of killer ninjas to steal drugs.
That too.
Cara will probably actually do that at some stage, because I want to show Jen that movie where a girl literally tries to exorcise a demon with exercise, and there's an erotic sex scene involving a can of V8. Anyway, back to the movie.
Hey, you got me at V8, Marty.
Back to the movie. So, they kick the shit out of the rival band and kind of peg it home, and they just leave their car there. I was like, I'm amazed the fucking car wasn't setting fire or anything, because they get their white Cadillac back.
Yeah, because in that one scene where they have all the people from Warriors versus West Side Story, and they're doing that, I kept waiting, because they have chains and like pipes and stuff, and I thought, they're going to do some damage.
Demolish the car.
Yeah, I thought they were going to that too, and they just kind of stand around for a minute, and then they proceed to fight, and the car just is sort of off to the side. Maybe because it was a low budget picture, they couldn't destroy the car, but they had it kind of set up for the audience expectations, like, smashing windshields, windows, denting the car and all of that, or possibly setting the car on fire.
Even if they got like the Hulk or the kind of chassis of an old car, or burnt and destroyed that, and the guys could go back and they're like, oh, look what they've done to our car, if they switched it out for that, like, but I don't know. That's, Jen, I think it's safe to say that's the least of the technical issues in this movie. So the gang goes off, they beat the shit out of the other band, and then they go off and This movie just jumps from scene to scene. There's no kind of real fucking thing. It goes back to Dragon Sound in their apartment with Jim shirtless with his underpants out.
Why, Marty? Because that character, most of his runtime, he has his underpants sticking out. It didn't bother me, but I was like, was that his trademark or something? What are you trying to tell me, movie? I feel like the movie was trying to tell me something with that. It was some deep introspective thing on this particular character, and I was
couldn't afford a belt. I don't know, but anyway. So the most double acting worthy, Oscar worthy performance comes on. Like one of the guys is like, hey, we got a letter. Here, do you want your letter? Give me the letter. Give me the letter. Give it to me. And the guy's coming, what's going on, Jim? Jim, the neighbors. You'll wake the neighbors. Give me the letter.
And Marty's not like hamming it up. That's pretty much verbatim what they do in the movie.
They're like, give me the letter. And the guy's coming, what's going on, Jim? Come on, Jim, the neighbors. You'll wake the neighbors. And they're like, Jim, come on, talk to us. And I was like, it's a letter from my father. And you could not believe. Do you want to go over the scene? Because it's like, he goes into...
Where our sister underacted, this guy is going for the fucking Oscar, and he's like talking about how his mother, he goes, my father was African American and my mother was Korean, and they fell in love, and he was in the military, but after his military duties, he just left us, and it broke my mother's heart. And then you can just see, and I don't know what he's doing, but there's tears streaming down his eyes, very fake tears, and he's like, I miss my father, and like the guys all rally around him and stuff, and we're a family and we're gonna help you, and there's a picture of his father, and it just kind of leaves it right there, and it doesn't really explain, like, yeah, you get the feeling he's looking for his father, but when he was crying, I'm like, wait, did he find out his father's dead? It doesn't really clearly explain the scene as well as it could have, or was that just me?
It doesn't need to. It doesn't need to. It'll be grand.
But I loved his performance right there was my favorite part of the movie. I gotta give that props to that actor. Whoa.
Oh, he was giving it his all.
He was.
So the rival band decides to go off and hook up with Jeff, aka Kenny Loggins and his crew. And he's got like an under gang led by somehow Christian ended up in this movie. How did Christian end up in a movie like 20 years before he was born? Like,
I don't know. Maybe it was another.
It was either Christian or Kid Rock. I'm not sure.
Well, it's a one in the same, Marty. It's one in the same. Love you, Spark.
But yeah, so they're like, hey, we want to join up with you. And what was the deal? Because you pointed out the deal was stupid. We'll give you all our money if you help us get rid of them. It's like, why then would we?
The rival brand, this bothered me, Marty. Like, you wouldn't think I would care that much one way or the other, but I was thinking, that's a stupid plan. So they go to Kenny Loggins and his drug dealing buddies, and they go, we tried to fight him, and they're all busted up. They're all in, like, bandages and cast and things, and they're like, we can't get him, but if you get him, we'll join your band, or we'll join your thing of ninjas, because we do, and they just throw that in there. We do taekwondo, too, and we'll play, and is like, if you get our jobs back and we'll give you all of our money. And I'm like, well, then why the fuck do you care if you're getting your goddamn jobs if you're going to give them all their money? I was like, God damn it. It doesn't make sense.
And the fact that this is the least of the plot.
It bothered me, Marty. It bothered me. When it comes to money, it's like, wait a minute, you're going to give and they didn't say, we'll give you 50%, 75%. No, they go, we'll give you all of the money. And I'm like, why the fuck are you doing this, you fucking idiots? And then I was like looking at Kenny Loggins, and I'm like, obviously these men are idiots. Why would you want them in your merry band of coke dealers, ninja coke dealers?
Did you see someone left us a comment there
I'll get my revenge one day. You're going to review the. Oh, fuck you, Christian. We're
You
not
can't
doing
make
the
us review
thematic.
that. This is our thing. We'll review it for his birthday if he comes onto it.
Okay, yeah, that's a good thing.
So yeah, essentially, then they get another plan to try and ambush them because the first one worked so well. So they're basically at a rail yard, just the fucking Band's gang and Kenny Loggins gang, and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get him this time, and they end up fighting them on trains and stuff, and like they're ducking and weaving, and like one move that both Mark and John looks like a younger fucking Ray Romano.
Yes, he does.
A low budget, a low rent Ray Romano, if that's even fucking possible. I don't know how, but yeah, one thing they do is they hide around corner. They get the bad guys chasing down in an alleyway with a blind corner. They hide behind it and they just kick them in the fucking chest. I'm like, they've done this to you on multiple occasions. This is their combat MO. Surely at this stage you now realize that this is what they do. Will you please change your tactics? Like,
but then they wouldn't be true ninjas, Marty. I guess my counter is they wouldn't be true ninjas. Like, or maybe that's the opposite of being a true ninja.
If I got kicked in the face because I chased a guy down an alleyway and he was hiding around the corner, I'd kind of be like, yeah, I'm not walking around the corner this time. I'm just gonna fucking wait for your man to come out and smack him. It's like, what the fuck, like?
It's a good scene, and for some reason, and this has nothing to do with anything, there's a few places where they're like in these dusty lots and they're doing their ninja stuff, and there's like dust going around. I don't know, I found that a very integral shot. I liked it. I don't know why.
Why? What is that the scene? Was that the scene where Christian was hiding behind a fucking sandbank?
Yeah, it was. And then I love the dance he does. He's kind of like, I don't know if the actor, if this was his acting style of choice, but he kind of gave off a bumbling redneck kind of thing, and he's doing
I think that's dance. Yeah, him and the other kind of heavyset guy as well. They were like fucking. They were like Bulk and Skull and Power Rangers or some fucking shit. So yeah, again, even with the combined forces of the other band and fucking Kenny Loggins, no joy. No fucking joy. Not a fucking peep. No. It doesn't work a bit.
No, it doesn't really work that much. But again, it gives us, I think this was just a way to shoehorn in as much a ninja as possible. I think that's what that was. If I'm going to be fair, I'll be fair, and I'll say that they just wanted to show off the movie's strong points. But as you pointed out, not as strong as they thought, because they could have changed up. If they were true ninjas, they would have. I don't think the Ninja Turtles would have done the same thing if they saw a repeated pattern. I don't think they would have.
Like the thing is those lads are just taekwondo experts. They're not even fucking ninjas. Like, they're just hiding behind fucking corners and stuff. So anyway, fucking Kenny Loggins is like, fuck this shit. He goes off and he tells his sister, you can't go out with that asshole in the band. I fucking look after you. You're going to college. You're going to fucking study. And it's like, the hell, like, you know, the fucking dude's harmless. Like, I think the best thing for your sister would be going out with this milk toast motherfucker. Like,
wait a minute, I just had a thought, Marty. What if Kenny Loggins is like Al Pacino's Scarface and he just gets insanely jealous with any sister? We got kind of almost that's not what it implies in the movie, but what if someone was going for the Scarface angle and like just gets insanely jealous of anyone who touches his sister?
Maybe. So he warns them off.
Am I reaching too far?
No, look, you're giving this movie a lot more fucking props than you probably should. But regardless, I just think that I think that they were trying to just do a kind of fucking Romeo and Juliet, West Side Story kind of thing.
Yeah. I got that feel big time from this movie.
Then you got Kenny Loggins deciding he's going to meet up with his friend at a biker bar, and that looked like a real. Yeah, Jen got pure excited because boobs.
They were natural. Guys, I will be happy to report back because I think the people care. They were natural titties. They were not in breast inflated in any way. There was no air pumps inserted into the titties to inflate them. They were God-given. They were natural and they were beautiful. They were beautiful biker titties. And we got shots and shots, a cornucopia of natural titties in a biker environment with leather. And they had one guy with, and I asked Marty, what the hell is that about? One of the guys had a rope around his neck. I don't know what it was about, but you know, it was hot. It was hot.
There was one dude there, he was like, okay, that guy is obviously a meth addict. His teeth were like how a child would draw the parapets on a castle. Oh, 3-year-old would draw parapets on just jagged fucking things. But yeah, it was like, yeah, it was a real biker bar. So obviously they knew someone who had access to a biker bar. And they're like, fuck us, we'll go in and we'll have an old scene in the biker bar.
And like, the song, Marty, the song. What, Bad Guys? Was it Bad Guys?
Yeah, Bad Guys.
I actually liked, okay, I don't hate me this, but I actually really liked Bad Guys. And they were showing, you know, the big old dudes on bikes doing big old dude biker things. But well, kind of what I think a movie guy would think that's how bikers act. I don't know if that's an authentic biker portrayal, but it's like a movie thing would think. A young person too, like a child movie person. That's the thing.
So again, Dragon Sound go off. And guys, we're not leaving out any fat. We're not leaving out anything. Basically, these scenes are happening as we call them. We're not leaving. Basically, the jump between the scenes are happening. So Dragon Sound go off, decide to get pizza, and they're kind of fucking Ron Jeremy, the kind of the messer, the kind of guy who was at the beach looking at fucking asses and stuff. Remember that scene where he got kicked into the sand? By one.
I remember that. Oh, I gotta tell you, some of them were firm. There was one that they weren't super saggy, but again, they were natural. They had a sway. They weren't saggy. They had a sway to them. People want to know, Marty. People want to know. But yes, I do remember the beach scene. They have kind of a fun montage, and again, I guess it's like, you know, friends forever, loyalty. They were kind of hitting home on that particular aspect of it, and it's just showing the camaraderie and the Ray Romano and the girlfriend, and they're just having a bunch of fun. And you know who he looks like? The guy that gets kicked in the sand. He looks like the part of the thing from Hall & Oates, the one guy from Hall & Oates. That's who I kept thinking he looks a lot like the guy from Hall & Oates. So
yeah, kinda. Wait, Jen, have you ever heard that term Kara's using for boobs?
Wangly danglies.
I thought that'd be for like a man's package.
It could be for both. It could be for both. It's a whimsical thing.
Okay, chesticles.
Christian says he finds it interesting every time titties comes up on the show. It's always me who brings it up, not you.
Yeah, women probably know more about anatomy in general. Was there any camel tail? Was there any camel toe or tail in this movie?
There was a little bit. We saw some nice, as the guys in the movie said, oh, look at those. They don't bake buns as nice as that as the bakery. Hi, Brad. Welcome. Yeah, there was some nice shot. Whoever did appreciate the TNA of a woman's anatomy. And I always, like, no matter what kind of movie it is, you know this better than anyone, Marty. I am pro tits and ass in movies and films to display it.
You are. That might explain as well why we're going to have 3 very strange picks in the coming year, one of which will be on next week. But I digress. So the guys decide to go get pizza, and your man from Holland and Oates, he's kidnapped, and he's basically taken by the Warriors S gang to, I think, an electrical pylon where Kenny Loggins and his minions are waiting. So here's where I have the problem, okay?
Oh, this is where you have the problem, okay?
This is where I have the problem.
I know what's coming, okay.
It's like, okay, Kenny Loggins is there, and they've got your man tied to fucking a part of the pylon, and the gang's there, and they've got guns, and they've got swords, and they've got antennas from TV for fucking satellite dishes and TV fucking aerials and shit.
Any ports in a ninja storm.
They turn up anyway. Dragon Sound somehow instinctively knows where they are, and they decide to orchestrate a rescue mission to rescuing him. And Mark and John both have I want to bring up kendo swords. These are wooden training swords, okay? Wooden training swords, and they're fairly thick. The kind of things are thick like the handle here, and
like erections.
Yes, Jen, like erections. Anywho, I'm so glad they didn't try chopping lads in the neck with their erections.
That would have been a better movie.
Fuck it. You've got 3 picks, okay? Fucking. So they go in with the kendo sticks, and fucking Jim turns up with a toilet plumbing pipe, a plastic toilet plumbing pipe, and Jen's like, well, maybe he can impale someone with it. I'm like, it's a fucking U-bend pipe. It's a fucking U-bend pipe. It's like.
It bothered Marty a lot. Like we went on, I think Marty went on for about 5 or 10 minutes going, this is, just going, wow. And like, he goes, look, Jen, it's bent. You can't cut anybody with that. This is bullshit. It was really cute. I almost wish we could film some of our, like, when we're watching it. I think people would enjoy, like, our reactions to certain parts of these movies.
You know what? We might do that for 2022. We might actually do a live stream of us watching stuff.
That'd be fun. I'd be down for it.
It'd be good crack.
Maybe for next week's video.
No, not next week's. So anyway, big fucking brawl ensues with the bad guys and Dragon Sound, and somehow Mark manages to sever a guy's throat with the kendo sword.
Again, Marty, I'm just saying, like, if he put enough, like, whatever, like a lot of pressure in the thing. Force, thank you. That's the God, Jennifer. I had a thing. Yes, force, that word. In the slam, maybe the impact would do enough to sever. Maybe. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to be fair. I don't want people to. I don't want people to like think I'm always negative to these films.
Yeah,
it's an 80s look, Brad. It's an 80s look.
The kind of thing that I thought was funny though was, so they end up fighting Kenny Loggins, and they kick him off the thing.
And it's really anticlimactic, don't you think? It's like how they do.
Why he's the underling, I know, but still, it's like, what the hell? It's like, shouldn't there be some fucking major fight? But no, they just kick him off. He falls to his death, and like they kick it off, and they kick him off, and he falls to his death, and essentially, it's like, okay, you just killed Jane's brother.
This is going to be problematic for the relationship.
Yeah, it's like you just killed your girlfriend's brother, like,
I can't believe I'm going to say this next part. I don't mean to cut you off, Marty, but I just had a thought, and I thought, oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying this. It kind of parallels Romeo and Juliet.
It does. Or West Side Story. I think more West Side Story because, oh God, Jesus Christ, we're giving this film more credit than it deserves. But like, again, it's they're trying to be more dramatic than they are, or they can be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, what the fuck? But then the next day they meet up with Jane.
Yeah.
And Jen. What's her reaction? Her reaction is, I had some time to think about.
Oh, no, Marty, you're not doing this justice. So she's like sitting there and she runs into low bargain bin Ray Romano's arms and she's like, and she talks in this monotone, which just is an actress. It pissed me off. And I mean, I get that she had issues with her brother, but this wasn't like hatred for her brother. This wasn't sadness for her brother. This was monotone. And she's like, I've had some time to think and I just couldn't stay away because, I missed you. And he's like, oh, but I had to do it. I didn't have any other choice, babe. And she's like, I know, it's all good, but let's focus on the happiness that's happening here because the one guy that lost his father. Yes, thank you. Got a letter and he's in a suit and we're so happy for him. And that's like the only emotion she gives is at the end when she's like, we're so happy for you. But, it's fine. You killed my brother. I had a day or two. I'm over it. It's fine.
It's kind of it's weird that like they're more kind of there's more emotion putting into Jim reconnecting with his father than there is with the fact her brother was killed. So it gets back to fucking Storm Shadow and his ninjas that his friend was murdered by Dragon Sound. Yes, this elite drug smuggling gang of ninjas take it upon themselves to finally get rid of that fucking band. So they all get on their motorbikes and they ambush Mark, John, and Jim on the way to the airport.
This is where the movie totally emotionally manipulates its audience, Marty. This was like, I was like, oh, fuck you, movie, blow me. This was, I mean, and I feel ashamed of myself. I didn't see this coming. And he's in his nice suit. He's in this really nice suit. It's the first time you've seen this character, minus when he's on stage where his underwear isn't showing. He's all nice. And then they ambush, like you said, they ambush him. And then he goes, no! And he's all bloody and he looks like he's at death's door. And Mark's like, no. And they're all like, no. And then they start just fucking going. It becomes a slasher movie, Marty. It becomes a fucking slasher movie at this point. The gore in this movie, I've seen. This movie isn't as bad as some of the movies, or this movie's worse than some of the other horror movies I've seen.
They go to fucking town, which is fucking hilarious with the quote at the end of this movie, but we'll get to that. And there's about 20 ninjas, at least 20 ninjas.
Well, really, two.
And they just start fucking hacking them up. Mark and John just start fucking make shish kebab out of these guys. And it's not even slashed. Like, they cut off arms, they cut off pieces of faces, and they murder the shit out of them. And fucking the last one of the ninjas gets kind of wounded and he goes back. Somehow, luckily enough, where they ambushed the lads on the way to the airport was in jogging distance to where their dojo, the ninja dojo, is. So one of the injured ninjas kind of manages to kind of just fucking crawl back to Storm Shadow. He's like, boss, they're all dead. And he's like, huh, cuts off his fucking underling's head and is like, ha, 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 ha. And you're like, why?
Maybe they wanted to throw in some horror because I kept thinking, this is turned into a fucking slasher. This has gone from an action ninja movie to a Romeo and Juliet West Side Story movie to a fucking slasher. They wanted to throw everything but the kitchen sink into this movie. In fairness, it looked good. It was a cool look. I liked it. It engaged me. So I can't be too mad at the movie. It comes out of fucking nowhere, but I'll take it.
So it's basically a duke down between Mark and Storm Shadow. Again, that's not his name. He's a white clad ninja, so I'm just gonna call him fucking Storm Shadow. And yeah, they end up fucking cutting the shit out of each other. And the original Romeo must die. Cara, you're right. It is. Yeah. It's probably right. Romeo must die. But
I didn't think of that, but she's right.
Mark Mark gets the upper hand and fucking basically kills Storm Shadow. And they make it back to the hospital with Jim, and his father's there, and all
I
the
was going to
bandits
ask you,
there.
Marty, how does his father? He's just magically there, and it would be the same day, right? Or is this supposed to be a couple of days later? I was going to ask you about that.
A wizard did it? A wizard?
Oh God! And speaking of the father, oh my God! Like I don't know who's worse, him or the sister, because oh boy, does he have some dialogue coming up. Ooh.
The funny thing is, Jen. The funny thing is, it's the actor in the photo, and the actor in the photo is obviously in his 20s, but they put talcum powder or something in his hair. Do you know, like when you're doing a school play, you know, when you're in like fucking preschool or whatever, and they put talcum powder in your hair to make you look old? I was
Yeah.
like, fuck off. Fuck off. But like, out fucking. Okay, so fucking Jim got slashed across the chest in the guts with a samurai sword.
Yeah.
But the doctor comes out and goes, he's lost a lot of blood, but it didn't hit any vital organs.
Blow me movie. But I mean, you know, I'm glad they didn't try to confuse us with medical jargon.
But so the band comes out and they're like, oh, it's Jim's alive, and everyone's like so happy about Jim, and like everyone's so fucking delighted, and his father's like, I'm glad Jim had friends like you, and he goes, Jim is like our brother. We'd do anything for him. And like the movie ends, they're wheeling him out of the hospital, and then a fucking quote comes up. Only through the elimination of violence can we guarantee world peace. How many ninjas did Dragon Sound fucking kill?
They didn't fucking kill him either. I mean, they were kind of their faces. It showed some enjoyment. Like, I get it. They hurt their friend, and they don't know if their friend's gonna live or not. Their brother, as they say. I get that, but it's sort of like you said. It's really the two forces are fighting with the message of this movie. Like, killing fun, yay, cut his head off, and then yes, we need to be more peaceful and enlightened. Yeah, it has a very bipolar kind of message if you think about it.
Your man Kim, fucking, his heart was in the right place, but he couldn't speak a lick of English. This was fun.
It
The
was.
things I liked. The soundtrack was awesome. Some of the fight scenes were cool, and as you said, the gore was pretty fucking awesome as well.
Yes.
Was there anything you liked?
Yeah, actually, I think, like you said, earnest is a very good word. This movie has a lot of heart. Like, it's hard. You can't get mad at this movie. It's silly. It has there's some things about it that don't quite work. The acting, but I can hear some people make the argument that the bad acting actually gives it a more of a sweeter, like some people might go, oh, it's kind of sweet. The acting's so bad. It's not a bad movie, Marty. The writing definitely has some issues with it, but it's also a very inspiring story. A dude wanted to make a movie and he did. So in a way, it's kind of a very inspiring, and I'm not being funny when I say this. I legitimately mean this.
No,
it is. Story.
And like it's gained resurgence. It's kind of like a Tommy Wiseau job in that like people discovered fucking like Samurai Cop and like The Room. It was kind of discovered later on after it was made, and kind of people enjoyed it. Christian says the actual quote should be, the only way we can truly achieve world peace is by murdering ninja coke dealers.
Death to ninja coke dealers. Namaste.
But yeah, so that was Miami fucking Connection. Miami Connection. It was a movie. It's fun.
It's was.
Fun. If you've friends and you've beers, or if you've an awesome girlfriend like me who can enjoy absolute tosh, like fun tosh, then definitely check this out. If you're looking for a Michael Mann or Martin Scorsese like movie, maybe give this one a miss.
There's some fun to be had with this movie. It did have a resurgence. They put it on what did they put it on, Marty?
Oh, it came out in 87. Draft House came across it in 2012 and made a deal with your man Kim and basically it kind of done popular. It got popular again. Same with Samurai Cop. Samurai Cop was kind of darling, internet darling, and The Room. The Room was an internet darling and stuff. I think the I think the thing is it's like these films are kind of discovered via a niche kind of way. They're never going to be like Commando. They never got big like fucking release. And back in the day, people thought they were a cool action movie, and then they realized, okay, this is cheesy fun. I think they were shot on back in the day, and then people kind of our generation and the generation after us kind of like, this is just fun fucking schlock, and
Yeah.
it's fun to watch. And it's a fun movie. I think it's better. I definitely think it's better. Now, again, that's not saying much, but it's better than. Would you say it's better than Samurai Cop?
A little bit, like different ways. Like I said, the thing that I take away from this movie is I think it's a very sweet that somebody wanted to make a movie and they fucking did it. My hat's always off to anybody who did that, especially someone who English was definitely not their first language. That is awesome. I like them both for different reasons. Like Samurai Cop might have a little bit more of a fun factor, but this one has its place too. And like you said, it's a fun movie. I wouldn't shit on either one of them. Either one of them.
Again, if you want to have some good crack with some mates, get a big fucking dirty bag of Doritos and a couple of packs of Coors and sit down and just fucking rip on this thing. Fun movie. So that's this Saturday's Trashfire Theatre. Jen, what have you and Sparky in the pipeline?
Well, tomorrow we will be on your channel once again because you are going to be doing 80s cartoons.
Anime action. Mm-hmm. All 80s action cartoons from G.I. Joe, Transformers. That's tomorrow. Then we're going to be doing the following week is going to be fantasy. Maybe Brad wants to come on if he wants. We're going to be doing Thundercats and Masters of the Universe. And the last week is going to be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Ghostbusters. And Ethel is going to be taking on the month after that. But for the next couple of months, I'm going to be doing kids kind of TV shows, action TV shows. And Jen is going to be taking over as well for one episode because you had technical difficulties the last time. But she's going to be doing, what? I'm sorry, I'm speaking for you. I'm mansplaining.
No, don't worry about it.
but what one are you?
Oh, Mr. Green, it's okay. You know the words confuddle me anyway.
That's okay, baby. Here, go back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. Okay. Cancel. Cancel. But yeah, what one are you? What kind of animation movies or shows are you thinking of doing for your one?
Animation, that's like cartoons, right, Mr. Green?
Yes, it's where the pictures move.
Oh, yeah. Pretty colors, no, we're I'm gonna be to cancel Jen and Martin. We're gonna be doing Strawberry Shortcake, Rainbow Girls, basically essentially cartoons, 80s girls cartoons, because you boys can't have all the fun. And boy, do you think there was product placement, cartoons made to sell toys. The girls sure did have their little bit of the thing too. And we're gonna have a special part of it for the Strawberry Shortcake, my personal favorite one. And hopefully I can talk Mr. Green into being my peculiar purple pie man of Porcupine Peak. Rat-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Hopefully he'll be tasting my berries.
God almighty. I'm gonna need some fucking hard liquor. You're really pushing me towards the stereotype. Jen, what can we expect next week for Trashfire?
Do we keep it a secret or do we actually tell them?
I will leave it up to the gorgeous lady herself.
Let me tell you guys, I will say this, you guys probably should tune into this one because it's a movie Jen picked, so you know there's trouble right there because you kind of know by this point, you guys, we've been doing this for a while now. You kind of know where Marty goes, you know where Jen goes, and it's a little different, but that's what makes Trashfire Cinema so fun. But we're gonna be going to Sleazy Town. That's what all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna let you all drip with anticipation all week. I think that's a good segue, don't you?
It's going to be in a galaxy far, far away.
Yes, it is, but not the way you guys are probably. Marty gave you a big hint there, but I'm telling you, you guys are probably making mental guesses, and I don't know if you guys are going to actually pick the one we're doing.
Like again,
You're pulsating with desire to know, aren't you, people?
I kind of stepped in this one, and I kind of said, okay, if you can't beat him, join him. And I could have said, okay, look.
Or you can beat off to him. Thinking about getting a new co-host, darling?
No. Jesus.
Oh no, it's not the holiday special, Spark.
I'm gonna need a fucking holiday after it.
And I will be, for spoilers, I will be wearing a special costume for everybody. Mostly for Marty, but if you people enjoy it too, that's fine. But it's more for Marty than for you people. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, she fucking is, DMC. Yes, she is.
Oh, thank you, DMC. That's sweet. Thank you.
She's my national treasure. But yeah, guys, thanks a million for stopping in.
Thank you.
DMC, thanks for coming in, dude. You're a legend. You're a big supporter of the channel. Awesome fucking dude, DMC. Thanks a million, Cara. If you haven't checked out Cara's channel, Horror Retrospective, what the fuck are you doing? Go check it out.
Awesome
Bronco
stuff.
Juggalo, Brad's channel. Go check that out. Make sure you check out Brad's. We had Christian on. Who else did we had on? We had a couple of sex bots on, but
sex bots.
Speaking in Russian, we had Katie from Popping the Popcorn, and I think we had some other people coming in and out. But yeah, again, awesome folks, and it was awesome hanging out. So yeah, tune in next week and tune in tomorrow where we're going to be talking animated action with Transformers in G.I. Joe. Have a good one, guys. Take care.
Guys. Thanks for
Bye
tuning in.
now.